welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Leia, and today I really want to cook with you guys again. I'm gonna try to make beef empanadas. I've done this before, but they came out huge. The recipe made 4 giant beef empanadas. I don't know how big they're supposed to be traditionally, but I don't want to make them huge for my family. So I am going to try to make my own dough for these. The recipe that I'm following that we liked before, we just didn't like how big they were, it used Pillsbury pie crust, and I don't want to buy that. So I am going to, you're talking, I am going to try to make my own crust and go from there. And then we'll see what other projects we end up fitting in along the way. I'm just gonna start with some beef and onions. So in here I have my ground beef from one of the farms around us. We usually buy a half cow at a time, just so we know what kind of meat we're getting. And then I'm gonna add this onion. I'm gonna cook it down and drain it really well. I think I'm gonna go for this recipe. Some of the recipes call for a lot of eggs, and eggs are really expensive right now, and I happen to only have a few in my fridge. So I am going to give this one a try. It just calls for 1 egg, water, salt, butter, flour. I will link it below. We're gonna give this a go. Oh, and it's made in a food processor, which is very easy. To my food processor, I have added flour and salt, and I'm just gonna give it a quick blitz. And then I'm gonna go get my butter ready. This is cooking up nicely. I'm gonna give it a stir.
I remember that you actually used to cook food in that.
What? In the food processor?
Yeah, but now you don't for some reason.
I don't know what you're remembering. I don't think I've ever made a smoothie in the food processor.
Yeah, but you have.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm really not a fan of cutting butter into flour for pastries. So whenever I can use my food processor, I love it. And I even do have one of those, you know, oh, let me see. I do have one of these doodads, and I still can't stand it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I feel like it just gets all clumped up in this, and it just doesn't work unless I use my hands, which is really messy. So, food processor for the win. All right, I am going to get this egg ready to go in. And here I have some warm water. I was gonna mix this into the egg, but I accidentally made it a little too warm, so I don't wanna cook my eggs. So I'm just gonna drizzle it in and let it run, and then do the egg next. It is a little crumbly and dry with the way the recipe is written, so I am going to add just a little bit more water. Okay, now it's in a ball. I think that was maybe two or 3 more tablespoons. I just kind of eyeballed it until the dough started to come together. I'm gonna get this put in the fridge in just a moment, but first I need to address this over here. It is just about cooked through, and I am going to get a paper towel in here and drain the grease really well. The only thing that we have noticed about pasture-raised beef is that it does have a gamier taste, I think that's what you could call it. I've never had venison, which is what I've also heard has a gamey taste. So I'm just assuming that I know what the word gamey means, I guess, but it's definitely different than store-bought ground beef. You know, one of the things we found is that you really have to drain the grease, I think, or else that gamey taste is just really overwhelming, because the flavor is definitely stored in the fat. Now for some seasonings, I've added cumin, salt, pepper, tomato paste, and I've also got this minced garlic in here. It calls for fresh garlic, but we are out of garlic right now. I normally have a huge bag of garlic pucks frozen in the freezer, and we just ran out. And then last month we were traveling, so it wasn't a good month to get them from Azure. But this month I have more garlic coming. Once this is all mixed up, we're gonna turn off the heat and add cilantro and Monterey Jack cheese. I just happen to have a little bit of frozen cilantro from the garden. Our cilantro bolted so fast this year. I was so excited for our big garden, thinking that I would have all this cilantro, and I just didn't. I didn't really plant enough, and it bolted right away. I really needed to plant enough to harvest it all very quickly, you know, to have enough for the year, and I just didn't. I had like 5 plants. So, okay, let's get that cheese and cilantro. These beeswax wraps are one of my favorite ways to chill dough. I just pop it in the middle, wrap it up. And I just stick it in the fridge just like that. And then you don't have to waste plastic wrap or get plastic microplastics in your food. For the Monterey Jack in this is, it was from Azure, and it's the 5-pound loaf, and I just shredded it all in one go, and I froze it in, I think, 3 Ziploc bags. We don't use Monterey Jack all that often, but it was a better deal to buy it by the 5-pound loaf than 1 pound or 8 ounces, you know. So I just shredded it all right away, froze it all, and then I have it for something like this. I can just grab a handful of it and then drop it right back in the freezer, and it lasts a really long time. It is currently 2:45-ish, and so dinner is well on its way. I have this filling done. I'm just gonna let it sit here for a little while. The dough has to chill in the fridge for 30 minutes. So until it's a little bit closer to dinner time, I'm just gonna go get a couple things done around the property that I have to do. And then I will come back and assemble these empanadas. It does smell really good. The first thing I had to do was unpack our Amazon Subscribe and Save. And on this day, I was really excited because we finally got these Band-Aids. I'm trying to find a PFA-free Band-Aid that actually works. So we're going to try this one. And then I have this timer and this hydroponic water pump because I am trying to build a fodder system for our chickens, which I will share when I do it. So now I'm out at the chickens, and I need to fill up their feed. We moved both of their waters out here. They have the cup waters, and I thought this was going to be the easiest system ever, but it's not, because the cups that we have tend to tilt and drain the whole 5-gallon bucket. So we bought a new waterer. So as you can see, all the shavings in here, at least right there, are damp from that water. But we got this one, which can also be heated in the winter, and that seems really nice. That would solve a problem, but it is just a normal nipple waterer, and I don't think they figured it out yet. So I've been trying to research how, yeah, come check it out, how to show them that it does this. And somebody said you could put a laser pointer. Come look. Yes. A laser pointer on it to encourage them. Oh, there's only 3. To encourage them to check it out. And then somebody else said they just press it a bunch until their chickens come over. Mine are still kind of scaredy cat chickens. They don't come over. So I don't know, maybe I can catch their interest. Catch their attention.
How big do they have to be to reach into here?
They can reach it. What do you think? Do you see there's water in there? Well, anyway, that's a project for another day. I am going to take this and put it in the wheelbarrow so I can go fill it. This is their feed. The reason that I think they're not drinking from this is because when I let them out this morning, they all ran straight for the waters and they stood around them and drank. So I don't think that they understand the nipple water yet. So we're going to have to work at that. Okay, sis, let's close this door. Here you go, fresh food.
That sounds like the rooster. That here's like a pigeon.
They're starting to get...
I think that girl...
They're starting to make adult noises now, huh?
Oh, so it is the ones that saying it right now, the girls?
Yeah, they all make noises.
What's a rooster? Mommy, the rooster had to get on top of there.
Yeah.
Hey, they like to climb on there too.
Well, I don't look outside them. Wow, they're good.
Yeah, they've definitely grown up a lot. They prefer to be out here now. They're not scared. Okay, guys, let's go.
I touched one.
Okay.
Look.
I've been trying to feed them zucchini, and they don't seem to understand it yet.
They do peck it sometimes.
Do they?
Yeah, there's like...
I expected them to eat it all the way. And then I even gave them some shredded zucchini right there that I found in the freezer. So if you have chickens, you'll have to let me know. I have heard that you shouldn't give them moldy, you know, if a food is expired, they probably shouldn't have it. But I've also heard people say that they throw their vegetable scraps out and then they don't go out and collect what the chicken doesn't eat. You know, they just leave it all out there. Are you just trusting that your chicken's not going to eat the moldy food? You know, so like if I leave these zucchinis out here and then they rot, is that safe? Seems like it. I don't think people went out and fussed over what their chickens were eating, but it's just something I've been wondering. For a side dish tonight, I usually have canned refried beans that I pull out, but canning beans has been difficult in this season, and so I don't have any refried beans prepared. So I am going to try an Instapot version, and of course it calls for onion, and I have no onion. I just used my last onion in that, so we're really improvising here. I've got onion flakes in there, garlic flakes, because again I'm out of garlic. We're really winning tonight, and I'm going to saute these just for a moment until they bloom, and then I think you just add your beans, your spices, and your broth, and it pressure cooks for 45 minutes or so. We'll see if they turn out.
I can keep this out right here on the stand. When Daddy comes, he's going to be like, hey, what? Change. Yeah. Because he wanted me to. And then soon I'm going to turn it into the helicopter. Can I do it?
You can do this one.
So do we have to roll in a ball?
Yeah.
Oh, what are you making?
Empanadas.
No, and then we have to squish it like this and have the roller pin.
Yeah, that's good.
And then we have to flat it out and roll it.
We're almost done. I got some help from my 6-year-old. Hey, that's a good job, bud. It's pretty. All right, let's add it to the tray.
Now can I push this one down?
Yeah, you want to crimp this one?
Yeah.
We did 10 of them, and we had maybe 1 empanada's worth of filling left. Good job.
I'm going to take it right here.
Yeah, I decided to switch to the fork. When you squeeze them together, I feel like it looks like an Asian dumpling more than an empanada. Probably doesn't matter either way though. It's gonna taste fine. Beautiful, Finn. I think that looks better than mine. You really took your time. I was just going through and rushing, but that looks beautiful. I have an egg wash here. I very often skip the egg wash just because it's mostly for aesthetics, but I'm kind of trying to find my joy in cooking again now that my baby is getting a little bit older. I miss caring about, you know, the food being pretty, and there's nothing wrong with having a it'll fill bellies mentality on the days when you just really need to get food on the table. But sometimes it's nice to take the extra step and really make something look nice. Also, having a 6-year-old is incredible. He is my oldest, and I think that 6 is the age when they really start to get helpful. So he genuinely helped me roll these out, and I look forward to the day when I can do the filling and he can do the rolling. And then of course the others will join in eventually too. We can have many more meals that are dumpling based. Okay, This has, let's see, this has 31 minutes left, and this is about ready to go in the oven. I am going to pop these in, do some dishes, and then I'll show you the final product.
So that means.
All right, here are the empanadas. They look amazing. Those are good, but my refried beans is basically bean soup. I don't know what the recipe was going for, but it needed way less liquid than it called for. Otherwise, I think this would be an awesome recipe. But that's a bummer. We have soup.
Actually, all of these have holes.